What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Poke Office. My name is Colin. A few months ago, I came out with this video where we looked at Sun and Moon booster boxes and how much you could have profited if you had just bought every booster box out of Sun and Moon. And whether you or not you bought one, I think it was 3, 6, or 12, how much you could have profited if you sold at market price today. So today I decided that we're going to look at the Elite Trainer boxes out of Sun and Moon, see where we'd be at if we dollar cost averaged in to every Sun and Moon Elite Trainer box. We're going to look at if you just bought one, bought two, or you bought a case or two cases if you went really, really huge. This is all about Pokemon investing. Now, we're going to have a few disclaimers up front because I'm making quite a few assumptions, but a really cool exercise in my opinion. I really enjoyed putting this one together. Before we get to that data, got a giveaway going on this week. This is what I'm giving away to one lucky subscriber, this 151 Alakazam EX box. Comes with 4 packs, the promo cards. Pretty cool little box, actually. So if you want to be entered to win that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, bell notifications on, hit the like button, leave a comment, letting me know if you like ETBs. Do you have any Sun and Moon ETBs, or are you going big on the Sword and Shield ETBs? Let's get to the data. It's going to be a fun one. I'm really interested to know what you think afterwards, so let's get to it. Okay, so a few things to go over before we really dive into the data. First thing, Sun and Moon base set released on 3rd of February 2017. So this is like looking at really in the last 7 years, basically. So quite a long time period. I always talk about investing in Pokemon as like a 3 to 5, more even so a 5 to 10 year outlook. Definitely not like months, because I just think you're gambling at that point. But when you dollar cost average in, which we should talk about dollar cost averaging. And basically what I'm talking about is that you're going to buy every set that comes out. You're just going to, like, if you have some money every month or every 3 months or every whatever time period, you put a little bit of money, if you're investing into Pokemon, into the most recent set. And you just buy every one, which lets you buy when it's high, buy when it's low, buy when it's at MSRP. Doesn't really matter. It's just going to all average out. It also helps you get into every set. So that means that you're going to have some of the sets that don't do very good, but you're also going to have some of the sets that do pretty good. You're also going to have some of the sets like Team Up that do extremely, extremely well. So moving forward, that's what I mean by dollar cost averaging. Just like pick a time period, and pretty soon you're going to just like put a little bit of money, invest a little bit of money every time period that you go through into Pokemon. And that's what that's talking about. So last, I'm assuming you paid MSRP for the numbers in this presentation. MSRP on Sun and Moon or Elite Trainer boxes are $39.99, excluding the specialty sets like Dragon Majesty, Shining Legends, and Hidden Fates. Those ones are $49.99, which I also included in this presentation. So a couple ground rules. This is a big one, and I knew people were going to like leave comments and stuff at the thumbnail that I made, which is kind of clickbaity, don't get me wrong. But here's the thing. Sun and Moon Elite Trainer boxes weren't printed nearly as much as Sword and Shield Elite Trainer boxes and as much as Scarlet and Violet Elite Trainer boxes. So totally understandable. So maybe these numbers are a little unrealistic if you're buying the Sword and Shield Elite Trainer boxes right now or the Scarlet and Violet Elite Trainer boxes right now. Maybe they're overprinted a lot. That being said, there's still a law of supply and demand, which means that as supply starts to dwindle down, if there's still a demand, the price is probably going to go up. So I'm not saying that you're going to see the same returns. I'm not even assuming that. I'm just telling you straight up, Sun and Moon Elite Trainer boxes were a lot more rare than Sword and Shield ones and Scarlet and Violet ones. Next thing, here it is, assuming you sell at market price today. So I took all of the market prices today of the Sun and Moon Elite Trainer boxes, and that's a big assumption that you're going to sell for that market price. Because oftentimes, especially when I'm selling my stuff, I try and actually sell it a little bit under market price, because then it's a little bit more enticing for people to make a quick sale. People see, ooh, that's a pretty good deal, and then they end up buying it from me. So I've had great success. I got a lot of flack from like one of my PSA videos because I said I made this much profit, and they're like, you didn't make profit until you sold it. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of true, but I typically sell it pretty quick because I put it a couple bucks underneath what the market price is. Anyways, for ease of use, we're going to assume that you sell at market price. Okay, let's get into it. Sun and Moon base set. If there was a set that has multiple Elite Trainer boxes, like the Sun and Moon one, there's 2 variants of it. I took the one that's a little bit cheaper. So here's how the slide works. Current price is where it's at in the market price today. So the Sun and Moon base set is at $63.87. Now we take a cost of one of these at MSRP, $39.99. So that leaves us with a $23.88 profit if we had one of these to sell today at market price. So if we had 2, cost would be $79.98, profit of $47.76. Then if we bought a case, you'd spend $399.90. That was back in 2017. Then now we'd have a profit of $238.80 if we sold all 10 of them, the case, for market value. And of course, if you bought 2 cases, so 20 Elite Trainer boxes, $799.80. That would be your cost back in 2017. Now we'd sell it for a profit of $477.60. Profit meaning that we sell it for the cost plus the profit. The profit is what is like we're actually making money on. Okay, not going to spend that much time on each slide, but we're going to start going through these. So Guardians Rising, a decent gain on the Elite Trainer box, $104.48 is where this one currently sits in the market price. So just if you had one of them, you're making a profit of $64.49. If you had a case, $644.90 profit. And this set released sometime in 2017. So 7 years, making a couple $100, not too bad for a couple $100 investment. Okay, next, Burning Shadows. This is not actually a crazy expensive Elite Trainer box, but a popular set because you got that Charizard in there. So we have $39.99 as the cost for one. You're going to profit if you sell at market price for $62.77. You're going to sell it for $102.76 is what I was trying to say, leaving you a profit of $62.77. So if you bought a case of this, that would profit you $627.70. Not too shabby. Okay, next we have one of the big specialty sets, Shining Legends, the first specialty set out of Sun and Moon era. This one comes with that Mewtwo in the tube card, which is absolutely breathtaking. A really, really cool card. This Elite Trainer box currently market priced at $267.05, leaving you a profit if you had just had one to sell and you paid MSRP of the bigger MSRP, $49.99. Still, you're profiting $217.06. Pretty nice. If you bought a case of these, you're into the thousands of dollars, $2,170.60 worth of profit for a case of Shining Legends that you bought at MSRP. Totally crazy. Crimson Invasion. So this is a crazy one. This Crimson Invasion is one of the cheapest. I think it actually is the cheapest set out of Sun and Moon. So not doing that good. $69.75 is where this Elite Trainer box sits in the market price right now. So just think about that. This is the worst one. Your dollar cost averaging into all of these. So you have some Crimson Invasion, but you're also going to have some Shining Legends. You're also going to have some Burning Shadows. You're also going to have some of the ones that we're about to talk about, which are crazy, let me be honest with you. So it's not a problem that you have some Crimson Invasion as well, because yeah, it's not quite as in demand, but you're still profiting on this. Look at these numbers. If you had one of these to sell, you still make a profit of $29.76. If you had a case, you still make a profit of $297.60. Not too shabby. Then we're getting into some of the good ones. Ultra Prism, $203.49 is where it currently sits in the market today, leaving you a profit of selling one of them for $163.50 of profit. If you had a case, you're making $1,635 worth of profit selling at market price. Forbidden Light, another medium tier one, $161.16 is where it is in the market. So if you had one, you'd profit $121.17. If you had a case, $1,211.70. Unbelievable. Celestial Storm, this is a good one, starting to get into the higher numbers, which is like kind of exciting, seeing the prospect. The whole reason I'm doing this presentation is because Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet era Elite Trainer boxes are on sale right now, way below MSRP. So is it a good opportunity? I'm not going to tell you to go buy them because that would be financial advice, and that's not what we're doing on the channel. Just giving you ideas and ways to think about investing in Pokemon. So Celestial Storm, if you had one of these worth $288.32 and you paid MSRP of $39.99, that leaves you a profit of $248.33. If you had a case, $2,483 of profit, which is pretty darn nice. Still getting even bigger. Dragon Majesty, this Elite Trainer box is $402.59. The bigger MSRP, $49.99, but really it doesn't make any difference because on one of them, you would have profited in just like 5 to 6 years, $352.60 on a $50 investment. 7 times your bet. That's pretty nice in 5 to 6 years. If you bought a case of them, so a $500 investment, you'd have $3,526 worth of profit. That's profit. So you'd still have your $500 investment back on top of that. So kind of crazy. Okay, all of these last ones are really, really good. Lost Thunder is just like a middle tier one, and it's still really good. Lost Thunder Elite Trainer Box, currently market priced at $169.45, leaving you a profit on one of them of $129.46, or a case, $1,294.60. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Team Up, we all knew this one was coming. Team Up, the biggest set out of Sun and Moon by a long shot. $488.08 for this market-priced Elite Trainer box, leaving you a profit on one of them of $448.09. A profit on a case of them, $4,480.90. Unbelievable. We're starting to see where this is going. Unbroken Bonds, another huge one, $377.82 for this Elite Trainer box, leaving you a profit on one of them of $337.83, or a case, $3,378.30. Crazy, crazy, crazy. We got 3 left. Unified Minds, $323.47 for this Elite Trainer box, leaving you a profit of just under $300, or a profit for a case of just under $3,000. Not too shabby. I don't want to take too much of your time here because we're talking about the same things, and it's just amazing to see these numbers in action. Hidden Fates, a really popular one. It hasn't quite eclipsed like some of the bigger Elite Trainer boxes, even though it has a bigger MSRP. So current market price for a Hidden Fates Elite Trainer box, $171.15, leaving you still a profit of $121 or $1,211 for a case. Leaving us the last one, Cosmic Eclipse, another hugely popular set out of Sun and Moon. $372.37 is the market price for this Elite Trainer box, leaving you a profit of $332 or $3,323 for the case. So here's where we get into the summary. You did this for each Elite Trainer box. So let's just pretend you bought one Elite Trainer box of every set. The cost throughout those 3 years of Sun and Moon era means that you spent $629.85. You sell them all at market price today, and you get your $629.85 back, plus you profit $2,935.96. So realistically, you started this, what did I say, February of 2017. Today is December of 2023. So there's 6.5, almost 7 years, and you just made almost $3,000 profit. Now, if you had a little bit more money to spend, you bought a case of them. And at MSRP, you spent $6,298.50. That's a case of every single Elite Trainer box out of Sun and Moon. That means that 6.5, 7 years later, you get your $6,300 back, plus you profit $29,359.60. Unbelievable. But here's where it gets really cool. So let's say we did this for each, that's supposed to say Elite Trainer box, not booster box, but you only paid $30 for an Elite Trainer box rather than $40. And then if for the specialty set, you pay $40 instead of $50. That means that for a case, we're going to make our $4,800 investment back plus profit $30,858. This is where, to me, it gets really exciting. Let's pretend that we overpaid for every single Elite Trainer box that we bought. So instead of paying MSRP of $39.99, we paid $50 and then $60 for the specialty sets. That means that if you bought a case of each one, you spent $7,800. So you spent a little bit more, but you still make that $7,800 back plus a profit of $27,858.10. That's a huge, huge chunk of change in 6.5, 7 years. So here are the side-by-sides. So the middle one is the MSRP, paying MSRP for each of them. So I really like this third row where you bought a case of each one. So MSRP, you paid $6,298.50 for a case of every Sun and Moon Elite Trainer box, profiting you almost $30,000. If you paid $10 less per Elite Trainer box and you bought a case of each one, then you'd actually eclipse $30,000 in profit. If you paid $10 more, you still get almost $28,000, just under $28,000, $27,858. You can read the rest of these numbers, but that is absolutely mind-blowing. So that's the data. We'll talk about it as I flip the screen around. Okay, so big disclaimer on all that we just talked about. This is not financial advice. I just wanted to show you some numbers, hypothetically showing you what is possible and just giving you some ideas of what is possible in investing in Pokemon. You can do it a smart way and a strategic way rather than just like moonshotting it, trying to find that next team up set. I think you're way better off buying everything, every set that comes out, little by little. And no matter what, just like don't overspend. If you can afford one Elite Trainer box at each one, good. If you can afford a case at each one, good. But don't go into debt or don't like stop eating healthy food because of it. Like that's not a thing. So the things that I want to say, Sun and Moon was pre-COVID. So we saw this huge spike in like Pokemon and collectabilities in general during COVID. So Sun and Moon wasn't printed nearly as much as Sword and Shield is and as Scarlet and Violet is being. So do I think that Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet era ETBs are going to do the same amount of numbers as the Sun and Moon ones? No, I really don't think that. Though I do think there's a huge opportunity right now with Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet stuff. That being said, Sword and Shield right now, the Elite Trainer boxes are super on sale. The only ones that aren't, realistically, from what I've looked at, is Rebel Clash is like extremely expensive for some reason, even though it's not a very good set. And then some of the specialty sets. So you got like Champion's Path is pretty expensive. You got Celebrations, which is pretty expensive. Pokemon Go actually is not that expensive. And Crown Zenith is not that expensive right now. So there's a few that are expensive, but most of the Sword and Shield Elite Trainer boxes are actually way cheaper than MSRP right now. So I'm not saying to go do that, but it might be a good play to buy some Elite Trainer boxes out of Sword and Shield right now. Same with Scarlet and Violet. And the things that I like about Scarlet and Violet, right now, they're way below MSRP, which is a good thing. Number two, it starts to come with these promo cards in each of the Scarlet and Violet Elite Trainer boxes, which I think adds a ton of value. First, you get an extra pack, plus you get that promo card, which I think moving forward just creates a little bit more collectability for those Elite Trainer boxes. So all in all, this philosophy, I mean, tons of like stock traders are talking about dollar cost averaging, and that's what I do with my own like retirement money. I put money into it every month, and like that means you buy the highs, you buy the lows, and it all just averages out. And Warren Buffett would tell you that that beats the market like 90-something% of the time, because you just can't, you don't have the capacity to pick the right time to buy when it's at its very lowest and the right time to buy or to sell when it's at its very highest. Like no one knows how to do that. You might get lucky once or twice, but on a consistent basis, you're better off just averaging in all the time. So that's my hot take. Let me know what you think. Of course, we got to open up some packs because it's the Poke Office, and that's what we do here. So I got 10 packs of Paradox Rift. Let's get cracking because I'm still looking for that Roaring Moon. Okay, come on. Still looking. I've actually gone kind of cold lately on like all my pack openings. Haven't pulled anything of like any real value that I can remember over the last little bit here. So, ooh, a Spathra, nice. Well, I will definitely take a art or an illustration rare right off the bat. That's a better start than we've had recently on the channel. I've never pulled that card actually. I think I've probably pulled like, it's getting pretty close to 400 plus packs of Paradox Rift, have still never pulled the Roaring Moon, have still never pulled the Iron Valiant. Those are the special illustration rare ones, and quite a few of the art rares, or the illustration rares, that I've never pulled. 2 for 2. What is happening? Have we turned the corner? Is this a thing? Turning the corner, opening packs. Every so often, my 10-pack videos get on a hot streak, and we start cruising. So, I've been saying it before, but, well, showed you the last card. There's definitely, I think if I can get 4 hits out of 10 packs, it's a good video for my openings. Anyways, Toad Scroll. Holy, we are on fire. And I love it. This is also a phenomenal artwork. The illustration rares in Paradox Rift are really, really nice. Really, really nice. I actually think that one is worth a couple bucks too. It's not like anything crazy, but definitely has a little bit of value attached to it. Lots of the illustration rares in Paradox Rift are doing pretty decent in the market today. So nothing wrong with that. Snorlax doll. There's our first non-hit. So 4 packs in, we've already got 3 hits. All right. So I really want to know what you think about this video that I did today. I got quite a bit of good feedback on the booster box one I did a couple months back. And I mean, it's just kind of nerdy looking at the data, but realistically what I did is I went through TCG Player. I grabbed all of the information about like current market pricing, and I looked at Pokemon Center, like Sun and Moon Elite Trainer boxes on Pokemon Center to find out what the MSRP is, because that's what Pokemon Center sells it for. And then I just put it all into a spreadsheet, made it calculate it itself, because that's a lot easier than doing it by hand. And that's what I came up with. So, legitimately, I don't think it's out of the realm of expectation to, let's just take Sword and Shield era, for instance. There's going to be sets in Sword and Shield era that are going to be extremely popular, like nearing the end of Scarlet and Violet era. Let's say that. So, immediately, Hoopa EX. 4 hits. We still got 3 packs, so it's a good video. Evolving Skies is going to be one to watch, like, for a long time coming. I think Chilling Reign and even Fusion Strike going to be really, really fun to keep an eye on and to open in a couple years' time. Lost Origin, I always am a big fan of that one, even though it crushes my spirits every time I seem to open it. But that set is still only like, a little over a year old. So there's a lot of room for that set to do some growth, especially if we're talking about like 6 years from now. So I don't know. I think that that's my personal investment strategy is what I'm trying to say. I'm getting tongue-tied a little bit, but I just want to buy some of every set. Doesn't need to be lots, just needs to be a little bit. And I want to just have some of everything from when I got started. I got started basically like end of Astral Radiance, Lost Origin, that kind of time frame. And that's what I'm looking to do. I have some of every set since then. I've even gone back and bought a little bit of stuff before then. And I think that's going to serve really, really well over time. This is the last pack. We did get 4 hits. 5 would make it even better. Nothing on there. What the heck is this? 2 different Wimpods? I didn't know that was a thing. Anyways, last chance. 3, 2, 1. Groudon. Nothing, but pretty happy with 2 illustration rares out of 10 packs. That's not too bad at all. Hoopa EX. This Toad Scroll is really, really cool. Frostlass and the Espathra. Also a very, very cool card. That's going to do it for me at the Poke Office. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. All the comments down below. I'll definitely give them all a read. I'm curious to know what kind of thoughts and feedback you had about this kind of stuff. Hopefully you're doing well, and I'll see you on my next video. Peace!